Hey guys, Blue Kool-Aid coming at you. Hey, I got quite a bit of stuff to talk about. I'm going to probably just split it up into a couple different videos. Things are getting really ramping up right now, guys. Have a lot of stuff to go over and a lot of things to do here. But I'm just going to limit this to like 2 subjects tonight. This right here, we had another CME. Or solar flare, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm not sure the technicality part of this one, if they're going to consider it a CME or a solar flare or just a simple filament discharge of some sort. But something came off the sun here. Obviously, you can see that. Okay, first I'm going to tell you guys that this was not Earth-facing. Matter of fact, it was almost directly the opposite. So why does it even matter? Well, we have to keep in mind that the interplanetary magnetic field lines is what connects us to the sun. Okay? So, and the sun connects to everything in the solar system. At least it's supposed to magnetically. Alright? So, if that's the case, if something anywhere, as far as magnetically gets disrupted between the sun and any object that it's connected to, it would make sense that we might see a little bit of a knock on our magnetosphere or what have you. It's going to affect everything, at least just a little, okay? May not even be noticeable hardly, but that is the case. So, but anyway, you see this right here. I'm just going to hit start. You guys are going to see it. I mean, it's not like extremely impressive. Now, what is becoming more and more clear right now with this, we're seeing these things about every few days. Okay, we went, oh man, I think it was over a month or maybe even longer without seeing hardly any of these things, and now all of a sudden they started back up, at least a little bit. I mean, these things aren't huge, like I said, by no means. You go back 7, 8, 9 years and look at these things, you see it. I mean, you guys would probably hit the floor. So, I mean, it looks really, really intense. But all that does is, it does give credence to the fact that our sun is weakening at the very least. Okay? Even if you don't believe that it's at a really weak spot as far as having no visible light or weak. I mean, we can show you that sunspots are not as prevalent. There's not as many. And we can show you that the corona is almost gone. It still has a small one, at least according to the tools. Alright, but I wanted to show you that. Now, I'm going to show you something else real quick, too, that goes with that. This is the CME tracker that I show you guys often. I'm going to pause it here. Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to, okay, first off, it's starting right here on this side. The Earth is here, okay? Now, do you see the black and white dotted lines? Now, if you follow those dotted lines, they always come from the sun and they're going to these other objects, right? Well, what are those other objects? Well, they're satellites and they're planets, okay? Now, the green one over here where the CME is getting ready to hit is a satellite called Parker SP, okay? We don't talk about that one much, just simply because I just don't look at it. I'm not sure what kind of data we get from it, to be honest with you. I've not researched that particular satellite. But you can see the sun's connected to it, just like it's connected to stereo A over here and stereo B over here, okay? So what I'm saying is, when this CME, and again, I'm using that term very loosely because I don't know if it's actually what it's being considered, but the energy that hits this thing, it hits right here on this Parker SP. When it does so, you're going to see this IMF line that's connected there. It's going to jerk, and it's going to jerk rather vigorously. Okay, and keep in mind, this is not a big discharge from the sun. This is very, very small, as a matter of fact. Okay, we've seen so much larger, the one we had just the other day. And like I said, these things are happening more and more frequent. Okay, So just watch here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Oops. See that? I even zoom in. Boom. Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is that say we're connected to a magnet, and say you got a centralized magnet in the middle. You put your magnets around it that are opposite polarities, or even the same, because they might be pushing against you, but they're at a certain level, certain distance away. You take one of those magnets and you move it on the left side, it's possible for one of them on the right to move. Okay, because of magnetics. Now, is that what's happening in our universe? I don't know if it happens like that on this large of a scale. I'm not saying anything because this is really, really a small event. I want to stress that. This thing was not big at all. Okay? So, in my mind, it would have to be a fairly severe CME to hit, to even come off the backside of the sun for it to affect us. So, essentially, what I'm trying to say is, the sun's got all these IMF lines coming off of it connected to objects. Well, if you follow all these lines, they go back to the sun. So that makes us all connected as one, okay? Which is kind of how even our Earth works as far as our magnetic field in the front. The shield that we have, okay? Our pole lines, we got all those lines too, okay? Just at a very, very small scale compared to the sun. So anyway, I wanted to show you that part of it. Now, Krelboyne Kip, okay? If you guys haven't heard me talk about him, I have in the past. I'm going to leave a link to this video I'm getting ready to show you. Okay, this is another one of those Stargate looking things, guys. This one's a little different though. Okay, let's just do it with, no, let's just do it with that. Okay, I'm going to hit play. Alright, now watch this thing. Obviously, you're seeing what I'm talking about, right, guys? I mean, I hope you see this. What's going to be weird that you're going to see is you're going to see a little notch out here in the haze of the sun here, or the cloud cover here. And something else, this thing never moves, okay? I've never seen a lens flare like that, so somebody'd have a really hard time. Plus, I'll show you some other objects that this thing is very, very similar to. And if you guys remember right, in one of my older videos, I showed that there was an object there, and it had something coming, like a stem coming off of it, okay? It looked almost just like that. And I'll show it to you here in a minute. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to just toggle through here. So you watch this, okay? Now, what I want you guys to pay attention, see how it's coming from behind the cover there? It didn't just come into being like a lens flare would have done if it was right there the whole time. Okay, you see how it's coming from behind? And look at this thing, guys. You see the shadows on this thing? And remember the object from Mr. MBB3's channel about a month or two ago that looked like it had, markings, symbols and stuff on the outside of it? Obviously, we're not seeing that here because this is a little bit different of a capture. But you definitely have it inside, and it's almost like we have this like that. I tried to put these on some filters and draw that stuff out because it is there. But I just couldn't get it out good enough to really be... Okay, he even put that up there. Said, I've never seen a lens flare that disappears like this. Okay, so what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about this. Watch. Let's just let it go there for a second. Okay, watch this. It goes away and comes right back. Look at that. Alright, now I'm going to pause it right here because this right here is the place where it looks like it's notched out. No other place on this this haze or sunshine that's going on here, do you see any kind of anything except for a jagged line going like this? Look at this. Okay? It's only here on that spot. Okay, I mean, he did a great job on this. And I took some stills, and I did take some screenshots. Now look at that. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. All right, now this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, you can clearly see, at least on this part right here, like that. Okay, and if you look hard enough as we toggle through here, you can see how the stem is kind of there, right in the middle. And it even goes back here, and I'll show you a better capture of that here in a few minutes. But we can drag that on through. Again, that thing never moved. Everything else around it was moving, not that. Okay? So, we will go over here, screenshots. And I'm going to, well, first thing I'm going to show you this. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Alright, I mean, that's the one I had, somebody had sent that to me. I think it might have came from Kenny G. I'm pretty sure it did, matter of fact. If it didn't, I'm sorry, whoever's this is, whoever sent this to me, I forget. Man, I feel bad about that. Sorry about that. I like to give you guys shout outs whenever I can. But yeah, look at that. And then if this is the fence that Jeff P was showing, and what this is, guys, what we're looking at here is this. That looks almost exactly the same as that object I just showed you. Okay? Now, well, what are we talking about? Well, the sun's back here. There's a building over here behind us. Okay? The sun's hitting this building, and it's reflecting this way onto the fence. Now, there are some cars down here. Okay? So, when you see, like, I think this and this may be hubcaps, but this is not. Alright, and I'm not sure if those are even hubcaps. I don't know what that looks like in the front there, where all the cars are. Jeff did a video on this. You guys should go check it out. It's awesome. So, basically, he's, saying that's part of the sun simulation system, and he could be very much right on point. Alright, now I'll just take you to some of the ones that I took a still shot of and kind of mess with myself. Alright, you see this? This is what I'm talking about. You can see a little nipple popping off right there. Okay? And if you follow it on out, you can see that. Okay? And then plus, you got this notched out. I mean, that's a black and white. These actually came from, this isn't the ones I put my filters on. But there's the big picture. You see that? Okay, and again, what's odd is, as this thing right here never moves. What's moving is all of this. And it's moving to the left, and as it gets closer to this object, you see the clouds notch out right there. See that? Okay, now here's your typical rose petal anomalies that we always see. Okay, but this is not part of it, guys. I don't know what this is, but I'm just showing you my observations here. And again, this came from Krelboyne Kip, and I'll leave he did that video over there, and it came from a Mexican webcam. Now, here we go with this one. Look out. I mean, the shadows are just in the right place. I mean, you just can't make that up. That's something that is like, oh, wow, really? So, anyway, we'll go through this one right here real quick. I put some filters on this. This one here in particular, you can see that it actually does that. And you can see those little spoke looking things really well. Okay, see that? Again, cloud base is notched out right there. Why? Why is that happening just on this one picture? Or one capture? There's that. That actually shows you good evidence of the shadow and how thick this outer area is. And again, you know, if you could put some glyphs on there, it would look very similar to the one that Mr. MBB3 showed the other day. Again, I don't know 100% what this is, but man, and I put that together right like this, okay? There's just some few of them that are very similar. So if you guys want to look at this, you know, take a screenshot of this and zoom in, guys. Yeah, I mean, look at the shape of that. See the 4 spokes here? And then look at this. This is what I'm talking about. You see that? And then you take that and you apply it to this one. You can see roughly like spokes going on here, and you see a little nipple coming out just like here. So are these all the same object? I don't know. But it's interesting to me. I think we need to look into this a little bit more. There's a lot more to talk about too, guys. You know, our magnetic fields are getting weaker because the sun's getting weaker. There's just a whole lot of different stuff going on. Okay. I'm trying to see if I need to show you guys anything else while I got you here. I tell you what, let's just pop over to Mr. MBB3's channel real quick and check the Schumann resonance. I got a shortcut on my desktop. I encourage everybody to get that. Okay. And then he's got all these tabs. He got the Schumann resonance right here on the bottom right. And that's what it looks like right now. Okay. It's not too crazy looking. I mean, completely normal would be at 7.83 hertz right up through here. You wouldn't see any of this, but I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know, because I've only been watching this for about a year, the Schumann resonance. So, but yeah. And again, guys, I got to that CME tracker from going over here to planetxnews.org. Here's the links all the way down through here. If you go right here, here are the links to everything that we go look at. All right, there's a CME, magnetosphere, all those kinds of things are here. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that or got something from it. There's more to come. Believe me, a lot more to come. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end it there. Keep an eye on the magnetosphere, guys. It's bouncing around quite a bit. It ain't going to take very much solar winds or increases to affect us right now. Don't freak out over that CME because it was on the opposite side. Nothing's going to happen over that. So again, no fear, guys, no fear. God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.